Tennessee Senator Marsha Blackburn's new book, The Mind of a Conservative Woman, will be released today. I caught up with Senator Blackburn to discuss some of the contents within her new book. Take a look. You also discuss rejecting society's liberal bias against conservative women in your book and learn how traditional principles will secure a better future. How has that been for you as a conservative woman in politics?
Right, and one of the things that I learned along the way was that the mainstream media treats conservative women as kind of fourth-class citizens. You know, they don't want to hear from us. They treat liberal women with kid gloves and kindness, and they're always looking for opportunities to elevate them. But if you're pro-life, pro-family, pro-business, then pro-military, then they don't want to hear your side of the story. So what we have to do is be very careful about how we pick our fights, if you will. And we have to learn how to engage. And I will tell you, Stephanie, I think one of the things that we are missing right now is a time-honored tradition that has served this nation so very well. And that is the ability to have robust, respectful, bipartisan debate so that you hear both sides of an argument. You have a point, you have a counterpoint, and that is what helps people to decide where they are on an issue. And as importantly, I think it helps elected leaders come to consensus on what the best way forward should be. Because as we know, when you look at how laws are made, laws that are bipartisan in nature are going to stay on the books. Those that do not have bipartisan agreement are going to end up being challenged.
And you talk about extensively in your new book, and you also talk about your U.S. Senate run, which you mentioned how Taylor Swift, she endorsed your opponent, Phil Resin, but said your voting record in Congress, quote, appalls and terrifies her. And she reiterated that same message in her Netflix documentary. Has she responded to any of your calls to have a conversation, as you said, or how has it been defending your record in the face of attacks from the left?
One of the things that we learned is people will look at your record for themselves and will make up their mind and decide what their position is. And as I have always said, my door is open to Taylor Swift or anyone who wants to have a conversation about making the lives of Tennesseans better. And I look forward to those opportunities. Indeed, some of my friends who are independents and Democrats, when there are issues that are being discussed in the public space, I will say, okay, tell me what you heard from this. What was your takeaway? Because many times it is completely different from what you would think the observation or the point would be. And it just reminds us, as I would many times say in my marketing company, it's not what you say, it is what people hear that they're going to remember, that is going to make that difference. And if you're going to seek to move people to a certain position, you've got to have that understanding of where they are and then talk about that issue openly. So we always want to have these discussions. And, you know, it's very interesting, too. Sometimes instead of addressing one issue in one piece of legislation, something gets all loaded down and you have these mega bills, and then all of a sudden the wheels start coming off, because the issue has lost its focus. And what you supported and worked diligently on has ended up on the edit room floor, and it turns out to be something that you cannot support.
And you make a great point that other GOP lawmakers are saying is, let's have a debate, a conversation about this, and let's stop the cancel culture and really delve into the problems at hand and have, as you said, an engaging discussion. And you go into that in more detail in your new book. Again, Tennessee Senator Marsha Blackburn discussing her new book, The Mind of a Conservative Woman, which comes out on Tuesday, September 1st. Thank you so much for your time.
Oh, thank you, and stay in touch. We're on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Parler, and it is at Marsha, M-A-R-S-H-A, at Marsha Says.
Great. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Want to see more videos like this? Click on the link below and subscribe to One America News on YouTube, and call your cable provider and kindly demand that One America News is added to your lineup. Call and subscribe today.